repetition program using the while loop and the for loop. In this topic, we'll learn about two types of data structures, arrays and lists. We look at arrays first. Array is a type of data structure used to store different elements in it. Usually we store similar types of elements in an array. Let's look at this example to understand it better. Koto and Lino were made in charge of the annual Dragon Wars competition. Teams from all the classes had to submit their team names and team member names to Koto and Lino. A total of 5 teams submitted their names for the competition. To better organize their work, Koto and Lino made 5 files for 5 teams. Inside each file they added a page for each team member. The page had team member's name, photo and other details. We can do the same thing in Kotlin using arrays. Arrays work like these files. You can store similar type of information like team member names, photos, etc. in it. Let's see how we can make an array. We declare a variable, let's name it Team Mighty Warriors, and in place of value, type array of and 2 round brackets. We'll start adding the names of the team members and their details like this. Joey, 17 years old, good with potions. Now to add more team members, just add a comma and other team members like this. Notice how all the team member details are written as strings. You can add other data types inside an array too. Suppose you want an array of prime numbers, you can make it like this. You can also make an array consisting of different data types like this. This is a string, this is an integer, this is a double value, and this is a boolean value. Kotlin is a smart language, so it allows you to add different data types in the same array. But mostly we'll deal with arrays that have only one kind of data types in them. If you want to make an array that will store only one data type, you can declare it by typing colon, array with A in capital, 2 angular brackets, and in these angular brackets you can write what data type the array would store. You can write string, integer, etc. So that's how arrays store information. We already made arrays of the remaining teams, so we will just turn these 2 arrays into comments and paste the code for the remaining teams here. And this is how the arrays for 5 different teams would look like. Now let's see how we can use them. Suppose if we want to display the name and details of team members of a team, we can use the for loop to do it. Type for member in Team Mighty Warriors and println member. And if you run it, it will display the names and details of all team members of the Team Mighty Warriors. There is one more aspect of arrays which we haven't discussed yet. It's called indexing. Indexing is simply assigning a sequence number to elements in an array. Think of it this way. In school, a certain roll number was assigned to you based on which letter your name started with. You might remember how Akash or Akansha or people whose name started with A would had the first roll number in class. This was because all the students in the class were indexed according to the alphabetical order. In arrays, all the elements are indexed based on what order they are written in. And the indexing starts from 0. Because in computer programming, everything starts from 0. So Joey has the index 0, Sam has 1 index, 2, and so on. You can also think of it like a basketball team where each player wears a number on their jersey. So in this team, Joey will have 0 number jersey, Sam will have 1 number jersey, Amy would have 2 number jersey, Tim would have 3, and Sarah would have 4. Indexing is very helpful when you want specific data from an array. Suppose you want the information of player number 5 from Team Fire Tamers. You can get it by just typing println Team Fire Tamers .get and the index of the player in 2 round brackets. Because in programming indexing starts from 0, the 5th player would have the index of 4. .get here is a predefined function in Kotlin which lets you pick an element from an array. Now run it. Yes, we get the info of the 5th player of Team Fire Tamers. Now try making this yourself. Make sure to practice as much as you can.